What's up everybody? Hope you guys are having a good year so far. I am in a different location today because I am dog sitting for a friend. The little puppy is right behind me, sitting in the spot that I was going to sit at, so I had to move everything and make everything look pretty again. So if you guys have taken a look down at the title, you guys will know that I am unboxing the Sigma 18-35mm f1.8 art lens, as well as the converter for it, the MC-11. But before I get into that, I want to talk about why I chose to do this setup instead of the Sony G Master 16-55 f2.8. So I shoot on the Sony a6500, and for the longest time I've chosen to stay away from adapters because it usually hinders the autofocus performance, and personally I wanted the best performance as possible out of lens that I was getting. So it is a strange thing for me that I am now going into a lens setup that requires a converter or an adapter. I actually did look into the Sony G Master 16-55 as well. I personally love that range. I feel like the 16-55 is a good range for all types of purposes. You can it's a perfect walk around lens. f2.8 is a really wide open aperture as well that allow you to do a lot more low light type of situations. But personally, I chose to go with the 18-35 because it's 1.8. f1.8 means that the aperture opens up much wider, and I think the fact that, yeah, the autofocus might not be as good for this system, but the manual focus on this lens I heard is really good too, and so when I freehand shoot, for example, I can just kind of compensate that way. I'd have to say, apart from the difference in aperture, one of the biggest reasons why I chose to get the 18-35 over the 16-55 Sony is because the barrel for the 16-55 moves as you zoom in and out. So the big thing for me is that when I'm working at an event and I put my camera on a gimbal, if I zoom in and out with the lens, I don't want to have to rebalance my gimbal every time I do that. And so that was probably the biggest contributing factor to why I chose to go with the 18-35 over the 16-55. Okay, but let's get to the unboxing portion. So the first thing you see when you receive the 18-35 packaging is a standard Sigma box. I'm gonna open it up, and inside you have the paper for the, I believe this is the warranty. Yeah, this is the Sigma warranty. I'm gonna put that there for now. You also have a manual for, yeah, instructions, different languages in there, and then they have the warranty sticker. Cool. So this is the first time that actually I've seen this, and that's pretty sick. So it's the 18-35mm, comes with the carrying case. It is padded and it's gonna keep my equipment safe. I'm gonna unzip this, and ooh. So I've been told that this is a pretty heavy lens. Personally, this lens isn't heavier than anything that I would have expected. I've had lenses in the past that were all lighter than this, but this isn't abnormally heavy to the point where it's gonna weigh me down. It's not going to make things less convenient for me when I travel, for example. So yeah, it just comes with a standard pedal-shaped lens hood. I'm gonna put that aside too. This lens is actually beautiful. It feels really, really well constructed. The zoom ring is very, very sturdy. You have definite ends and beginnings. So from 18-35, that's as far as it can go. It doesn't kind of move anywhere past that. The focus ring itself is also, yeah, it also goes from what, 1.8 to infinity, and it stops there. You have the little autofocus, manual focus switch. I don't know if you can hear that, but that sounds very, very satisfying. It just kind of has a nice clean click to it. If I look at the actual lens itself, the lens diameter thread is 72mm. I still have to get a filter for this. Usually when I get new lenses, I get filters, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But it looks really nice. It has a little bit of a greenish tint to it, but I feel like most Sigma lenses have that. They actually don't make this lens for Sony E-mount, so I had to get it for Canon, and that's why I ended up getting the MC-11 adapter, so I can kind of put it all together. It equals to about the same price as the Sony G Master 16-55, and that's why that's a very big debate for me before I got it as to which one I would get. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this all aside right now, and then we're gonna just look at the converter as well. So this is the MC-11 adapter. It is also Sigma brand, so it comes in a standard Sigma box as well. I'm gonna open this one up. Again, we have the warranties in here and another box. We got a box inside a box over here, folks. It does come with a cord in the box. I believe this is to help you adapt to the actual converter itself, so you can do software updates. So this adapter feels very, very well built as well. This one, This one actually feels a little more dense in material than the lens itself, but both of them feel really, really well constructed. This one has even a little bit of weight to it for how small it is, but there's nothing wrong with that. I kind of like the fact that there's weight to it because it kind of helps me in terms of balance. If something's really light, it's kind of hard for me to stabilize whenever I'm hand holding a camera. Now that I have these out of the box, I think I'm gonna put these together and get some test footage for you guys and just see how everything turns out in terms of performance. I want you guys to be able to see how clear this is. I personally want to see how clear this is too, so let's get it. So this is a test of the 18 to 35. I'm using the audio on my camera right now, but I want to see how it looks if I use it as a vlog lens. Obviously it's not practical because it's a pretty heavy lens. I have this all in one hand right now and my body is a 6500. I have to hold on to the lens, otherwise it's way too heavy. I know for a fact that the DJI Ronin S gimbal is going to be able to carry this, but I'm actually kind of surprised at how this feels. It feels pretty nice. How does the quality look? What do you think? So I took a few reference clips and I put it just before this video here that you guys are seeing. And there are a few things that I do want to address with this lens. Most of the things that I feel about this lens are pretty consistent with what the reviews were telling me. I just wasn't sure exactly to what extent, but now I guess I have a better idea because I have the lens itself. One of the big criticisms that I've been hearing about this setup is that the autofocus is very, very loud. That is something that I am going to say is 100% true. You guys are going to be able to experience that when I play the clip for you guys. I'll leave the audio there so you guys can actually hear it. But the autofocus on this lens is ridiculously noisy. So if any of you are gonna get this lens, if you guys are planning to vlog with this lens, make sure you have a external mic that is, you know, directed away from the motor of this lens. I personally have an audio right now that is separate from my camera, so hopefully it doesn't pick up the autofocus, but you guys will definitely hear in the reference clip that I show you guys. Another thing is that the autofocus on this lens is not really as fast as I'm used to. Obviously I wish it was a little bit faster, but this is what I can ask for, right? Like I can't ask for too much if I'm gonna be putting this on a adapter. At the end of the day, those are my two big things about this lens. The sound when it autofocuses and the actual autofocus speed itself. But aside from that, this lens seems to be very, very clean and clear. I haven't actually gotten to do much work on it yet. If you guys want me to do a follow-up review later on, let me know about that too. But this is the review. Would I recommend it? I can't even say if I would recommend it right now just because of the fact that I barely used it. I want to say yes because of the quality, because of the fact that it can cover a range between 18 to 35 millimeter, but that's honestly just a bias because that's the use that I use it for. I do a lot more run and gun shooting, and previously having owned the 16 millimeter and the 30 millimeter, this pretty much covers everything I need right now. But this is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was informative enough for you guys, and if you guys have any questions about the lens, if you guys want to give me any recommendations, let me know in the comments below, and